I did not know this. I have a travel warning. I wonder if the State Department has this on the website. Can I be honest? I do not have a desire to go to Mexico these days.
Okay.
You know, I've been scuba diving in Mexico. It's been some years. I've been scuba diving in Cozumel, and I had some very nice dives in Cozumel. But, you know, my parents, you know, when my dad was in a little better shape, I mean, just like within the last year, my parents, and this is a freaking nightmare, man.
Oh, they love
You
like
want to talk about
Cancun or something?
You want to talk about a effing nightmare? Yeah, my parents have like 5 or 6 weeks of timeshares that my brother and I are going to have to deal with. Freaking timeshares. So they've got like 3 weeks in St. Martin. They've got 2 weeks in Mexico, and the place where their timeshare was in Mexico. It's like under a State Department travel advisory because of all the drug cartel activity, and people are getting kidnapped and shot. And my parents are like, Todd, why don't you bring the kids to Mexico? I'm not thinking cartels are 100 yards away from your condo. I don't want to go to. So I just don't have a desire to go to Mexico these days.
Yeah, no, I don't need to go to Cancun.
You know, well, listen, I think some of the resort areas
if you're like an all-inclusive,
but are a bit safer. But I think I'd read recently, like the areas around Acapulco have become like really dangerous. And even near where my parents were on the west coast of Mexico, I can't remember the exact spot, but they would tell me, oh, yes, we stayed in for a couple of days because there were some drug shootings nearby. I'm like, yeah, that's why I want to bring Chloe, Michelle, and Julian. Yeah, there we go.
I remember people got shot on the beach of Cancun a couple of months ago.
So I just don't have a desire to travel to Mexico. But I learned something about Mexican travel that I had no idea about. And this is little known. People don't know this. Do you know? Andrew, hold on. You knew this? Andrew, hold on. Turn your microphone on. Andrew, did you see the story?
I did see the story, but I was already familiar with it.
Oh, my God. Do you know that if you bring a laptop and an iPad into Mexico, that you can be fined and they could confiscate them? That you're not allowed to bring both?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
You can bring an iPad.
Hold on a minute. You can bring an iPad.
Or a laptop. But you can't bring them both.
Don't bring an iPad and a laptop. I mean, what? I mean, hey, Mexico, don't you have more important things to worry about?
No.
Like the Sinaloa drug cartel?
No. I'm el presidente de laptop y iPad investigations.
Travelers flying to and from Mexico could receive a hefty fine from airport officials depending on what they're traveling with. Electronics such as laptops and iPads are common items.
You could bring one.
However, the number of electronics in a bag could determine whether a traveler will walk away with a fine or not. A little-known travel rule when flying to and from Mexico through a Mexican airport is to only bring a specific amount of electronics. For example, a passenger hoping to bring a laptop and an iPad on the trip will have to choose between one or the other before entering customs. What the? Passengers who decide to pack both may suffer the consequences of paying a fine or losing the gadget forever.
Wow.
What the living bleep?
That seems very third worldish. What's the rationale behind it?
I have no idea.
You're going to open up a big computer database center in the middle of a vacation town?
Mexican Customs Office limits the overall number of electronics items each passenger is allowed to bring into the country. Travelers will be fined if they pack an iPad and a laptop in their bag and try to go through customs. Flyers who don't wish to pay the fine will be required to leave one of the gadgets behind. This is like extortion. Pay the fine or leave your iPad.
Huh.
Hombre.
Okay, so here's the whole list. What's allowed? One laptop, notebook, or other portable computing device.
Wow.
2 cameras or camcorders. 3 cell phones.
What if you're a professional photographer and I know people that travel with multiple cameras?
1 GPS. one electronic organizer.
Listen, I think Mexico's got a lot of other things they probably need to worry about versus, Marge from Independence, Missouri, with her iPad and some clunky little Chromebook.
Would you care to guess how many printers you can legally bring into Mexico?
9.
One.
Okay.
One projector, one CD burner.
I think my HP printer's made in Mexico. Yeah,
bringing it back home.
How the hell do they get them out of there? How does HP make them and ship them? I mean, is that not nuts? Officials would usually fine travelers 19% of what they believe is disallowed. This would mean that flyers could potentially be fined $200 for a new iPad Pro or $300 to $400 fine on a MacBook Pro.
So, is this per person or is it per group?
No, this is per individual.
Okay,
per person. Hey, honey, I need you to smuggle my iPad in because I have my laptop too.
I mean, MJ, if you're in line next to the guy who you were flying in with, and he turns to you right before customs and says, "Hey, can you hold myself?
I need you to be an iPad mule."
Yeah. What would you do?
I'd put the iPad in a condom and then swallow it.
You know what? It goes down real easy, but coming out some. Pain.
Oh my God! We got a burst iPad condom in the guy's large intestine. We gotta open him up. He's gonna die. What a mess! So this has been in effect for a long time, but they're really starting to enforce this now. All right, another reason why I have no desire to go to Mexico, and I love traveling the world. What a freaking mess! What a bleeping nightmare! That's just insane.
I was watching a show. I think it was like English customs or something like that. A place where you can't bring fruit. And on the flight, they gave apples out. They gave like a snack pack with apples.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about this.
And, you don't eat the apple on the plane, but you put the apple in your bag to eat it later.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go through customs, and they nab you for bringing in fruit, and they fine you.
Yeah.
And you're like, the plane gave it to me. And I was like, well, you landed here. You brought it in the country.
I've heard of those stories happening.
Yep. You got to be really careful when you travel.
Hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the like, share, subscribe, all this crap down here.